Hey everybody, what is going on? Free Agent Bowler in with you. I want to say thanks for coming in to check out the Radical Results Solid Ball Review. Mo and Phil doing crazy things with bowling equipment, and this is a good one. I'm excited for you guys to be here to check this out. So if you're new to the channel, welcome in. If you are a returning subscriber, thanks for coming by. I really appreciate it. I know this was supposed to be the review for the Ebonite Arrow. However, I just have not put enough games on that ball to be able to fairly and honestly assess what that ball is, and I just won't do it any other way. I can't in good conscience tell you something if I know it's not true. So I won't do that to you. So let's get to it on this one. 3 promises. Number 1, I'm a non-staffer. This is a non-staff review. You'll see good, you'll see bad, you'll see it all, and you'll get an honest opinion. Number 2, every ball I review has at least 10 games on it. This one has 15 as of the shooting of this video. And then number 3, guys, is just honesty. I want you to know when you watch my stuff, you're getting honest and fair opinions. So with that, let's get right to it. 55 by 4.5 by 40 is the layout here, which is identical to the layout that I have in the Results Pearl. This is a great ball. I'm really, really impressed by what this ball does. Except the color. I don't really like burgundy. I don't know what it is about burgundy, but burgundy and I are just not a thing, man. Some people really dig it. I'm not that guy. So, but there you see it right there. 55 by 4.5 by 40. Once again, make sure you go to Buddy's Pro Shop. Use the code FABOWL5 to get 5% off your order. Some of that is manufacturer price protected, but generally you can get in, get out, save 5%. So here we go. This first shot represents this ball really, really well. See that? Smooth, rolly, predictable. That's what this ball is. And it's really, you know what's interesting? Companies do this a lot. They'll make a pearl version of something, and then they'll make a solid version of that ball. And a lot of times those two don't complement each other very well. So like the Motive, the Venom Shock and the Venom Shock Pearl, those were 2 entirely different balls. Even though it had the label that said Venom Shock Pearl, it's not. It's an entirely different piece. And a lot of manufacturers don't always hit on making it just right. Radical absolutely did on this one. This ball is so complementary to the Pearl. It's crazy. It reads earlier, it rolls smoother. It's exactly what you want to do. And for some people, this ball will be a step up. For some people, this ball will be a step down. For some people, this ball will be a step over just to change the shape. But for me, if the Pearl is just snapping too much, if it's just getting down lane and going buck wild, right, I know that I can come to this and throw basically the same line and just take a little bit of that back end pop off, because this ball doesn't do that. It's not quick in its motion like the Results Pearl. The Results Pearl is really one of the faster moving breaking balls that I've ever thrown. It really just turns the corner, goes. Once it gets out of the hook phase, it sets itself up and it goes. This one is a little slower. It's a little more predictable, much more rolly, and it really is truly a very, very good complement to the Pearl version of this. And you know, honestly, there's so many manufacturers that miss, and Radical absolutely did not. And I would argue that Radical missed on the Intel and the Intel Pearl. I think they're the same, but they're not. So anyway, I digress. This ball, though, I think has applications for a lot of people. There's a guy that I bowl with on Wednesday nights. He's a little bit lower speed than me, probably in the 16s, has a lot more hand. And this ball it just looks amazing for him. There's a guy that I bowl with that also throws the ball harder than I do that's throwing this ball, and it looks really good for him too. I guess that's all to say. I think there's an opportunity for a lot of people to use this ball. I think the cover is versatile enough that whatever you want to do to manipulate your shot shape with your layout is possible. It's so good. In fact, I'm thinking about getting another one and doing a short pin application with it just to see how it works. I can only imagine on a shot that I really have to control every part of the lane, a short pin would be ideal with this ball. This thing is phenomenal. This is just a tremendous ball. And you know what's crazy to me is I typically don't match up real well with big asymmetric solids. This one, it's different. It just is a different ball, and it works really well for me. So very impressed with this ball. I haven't changed the finish at all. It's still the 500 3000 Sia Air. And I really just can't tell you enough how good it is. It is like good, just really good, and it's very impressive. One of the best big asymmetric solids that I've certainly ever thrown. So we finish out this game really well, 247 here, and honestly, that shot was an oil slick in the middle and dry outside is a fire and ice oil pattern, and it is kind of difficult at times, but this ball did great. So the question becomes, does it make the bag, and is it the main bag or is it one of the totes? Well, the answer is it's the main bag. This is kicking the Forge Fire right back out of the bag. It's too good not to be in there. So final grade is an A+. Let's get to the grade sheet here and I can explain it a little more. So appearance, again, I know it's subjective and some of you don't like it. But the appearance for me is 8 points. I'm not a big fan of burgundy, but it is okay looking, so I gave it 8. Reliability, that is the motion that's built into this ball. Is it a reliable motion to strike? And the answer is unquestionably yes. Repeatability is, if I do the same thing over and over, is it going to do the same thing? And the answer here is yes, 9 points for that. Finish and hitting power are where it really comes in. Finish 9.5, the way it gets through the deck, and the power at which it hits is insane. You know, I haven't been a big believer in this whole Dynamicore thing. I feel like it's been kind of a gimmick. You know, hey, it changes the coefficient of restitution and this and that and real sciencey. But I think with this ball, it may actually be a real thing, because this thing absolutely destroys the pocket. It is way up there on my list of hit. But you see the price to performance ratio, and you're sitting at 0.90. And again, anytime you get above about 0.86, 87, anytime you're up above that, you've got a good piece. So let's look at some different angles compared to the results Pearl. These are 4 shots, and you're going to see how different this ball actually is. So this first shot will be with the solid. We're going to swing it out there a little bit, get it to about 3-4. Look how smooth that was. It didn't read the heads too much, read the mids, set itself up, and smoothly got to the pocket. Now, same shot with the Pearl. Check this out. There we go, 3-4. See how much more pronounced that was? And in full speed, it becomes even more obvious. So here's the next shot. We move inside a little bit, and I say, okay, let's put it down at about, let's get it to about 12, and out and then back in, and it barely gets there, right? Same shot with the Pearl. Check this out. You're going to see how much different the finish is between these two balls. So there we are at about 12, out to where we were, comes right up, and look at that. It finishes beautifully. And therein is the difference. They're very complementary, but they work well together. So here's what's in the bag. The Venom Shock Pearl, that's in there. That will stay in there. That's not going anywhere for anytime soon. You've got the Phase 3 by Storm, which is just a fantastic piece. I love that ball. Then we've got the Radical Results, which I've shot several 300s with. It's a great piece. Then we have the Storm IQ Tour Nano Pearl, one of the best pearls on the market. It's got to be. And then the $100 DV8 Decree. Great ball. Definitely worth a look. And then finishing it out is this guy right here. Again, just a really good ball. A ball that, you know, frankly, I didn't know what to expect, but I'm pleasantly surprised with how well this ball works with the Pearl. Radical really did a hell of a job on this one. It's definitely worth checking out. So, what is in the main tote? I will show you. It is what it was last time. So you got the Black Pearl Bloody Ocean, you've got the Storm Axiom, and again I say the most underrated ball on the market in the ebonite allure. Fantastic piece if you haven't thrown that, and pretty reasonable. I think you can get it for like $100 at Buddy's right now. So what's next? What's coming at you? Well, hopefully it will be this ball, which is the Arrow. And I know this ball looks really good right here, but I honestly, it's been kind of hit or miss with this ball, and I just haven't had the opportunity to use it as much as I need to. So I will commit to doing that, and I will get this video to you hopefully in the next week or two. So, but there it is, the Ebonite Arrow. That should be the next one. Once again, don't forget to go to buddysproshop.com. Use the code FABOWL5 to get 5% off your order. I would appreciate it. They would appreciate it. And they do a great job. If you want to get your ball drilled by them, send yours in. They'll send it. They'll refinish it, send it back. It's great. So I want to thank Arapahoe Bowling Center, family-owned business, guys. Right now with all these weird shutdowns, anytime they're open, I like to get in there and use the lanes because they're just great people. Being family-owned, they need help too. And, of course, Bobby, he's a solo rider, but he's a hell of a guy, and he does a really good job over there at AMF Aurora off of Mississippi and Buckley if you're in the Denver metro area. And then, of course, I want to say thanks to you guys. Appreciate you watching. Make sure you subscribe for the latest stuff. And questions, comments, email me right there. Next one's coming up soon, guys. Thanks.